Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to a new episode of Cup TV brought to you by www.craftsuprint.com. Today we're going to look at a gorgeous kit from Sandie Burchell and the cup number is cup 122201_425. It's called the Oh So Sweet 3D card kit. You get 6 sheets in the kit and you get the full tutorial instructions. I'd like to run through and show you the sheets that you get and then we can make the card. So there's 6 sheets and the first one is part A of the main card. And I say part A because there's 2 parts to it. You're going to cut these out and this is the base that everything else is going to attach to. Sandie's included the instructions of where to make slots and which panels to cut out. So that's the first sheet. And then the second sheet is exactly the same, again with the cut marks and the fold lines and the centre panel. Those are going to stick back to each other. And then we've got the decoupage for sheets A to B. Now when I say sheets A to B, this is sections A to B on the card. Sandie's marked everything with alphabet letters so that you can follow the tutorial. So this is A and this is B. We've got the score lines and we've got the cutout marks as well, and then some extra decoupage. Then we've got E and F sections and extra decoupage for the actual sections. Then we've got G and H. It'll all become apparent as we actually make the card anyway. We've got some extra sentiments, and then we've got C and D, which is a large panel, and again the score lines. And then we've got the written tutorial as well. Now I've printed mine off in black and white. If you want to print it off in colour, that's entirely up to you, but I've just printed it in black and white to save my ink. It is very useful. All of the tutorials that are included in the kits are useful, especially to new crafters. So let's make the card. Now I'm going to start off with the 2 sections that are for the actual card itself. I'll turn them this way. So I've cut them out, and what we're going to do is we're going to add them back to back. So basically we're going to add one on top of the other. Now I'm just going to turn it this way while I add the glue, and for this I'm going to use wet glue. I have already scored the lines in them and I've already cut out the slots as well, following Sandie's instructions in the kit. So I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue to add these 2 together. Now at home obviously you'll be able to take a little bit more time than me, but I just want to show you using wet glue will give you a little bit of time for the slip to get everything in the right position. If you want to use double-sided tape, feel free. I'm using the wet glue and that just gives me that little bit of wiggle room to line the 2 sheets up, just like that. So I can press it down and I'm just going to set it to one side to dry while we look at some of the other sections that's included in the kit. So next we have 2 more pieces that we're going to put back to back, and one of the useful things that I found when I cut out the pieces, I actually did label them. So A through to H I think it is, I labelled the pieces. I did actually label all the decoupage as well, so I went a bit further than through to F. I think I go down to Q. I've put score lines in. Now for this I've actually got double-sided tape, so I just wanted to show you both the wet glue and double-sided tape. So I'm just going to put the 2 pieces back to back and marry up the edges like so, press it down, I've got the score lines in, so I can just make sure I've got nice sharp folds where my score lines are. There we go. Then I can put the next piece together. Now the next pieces are A and B. Sorry, I've gone C to D and then back to A to B. But you're going to want to put all your pieces together anyway, so you don't have to put them all in the right order. So this is A and B. I've cut out the actual cut marks for our slots that we're going to add our decoupage to and pieces. And I've also just scored the 2 tabs at the edges. Now again, I've got flat tape on this, double-sided tape. So I'm just peeling the back away. If you're not confident to use tape, use the wet glue. That'll give you the time to just wiggle it. So again, we're going back to back with the sections. So there's no white bits when you put your card together. And press it down. And I can just make sure those tabs are nice and foldy. There we go. And then the last section that I want to put together, actually there's 2 more, is G and H. And again, we've got the 2 pieces, and I've scored the edges where Sandie's added the marks, and we'll just add those edge to edge like that, and make sure they've got the nice sharp folds in where they slot in, and again. And then this is the last piece that goes back to back. And this is E and F. As I say, you don't have to do them in order. It's just the way I've picked them up from my preparation area. So double-sided tape again on this. And back to back the pieces. There we go. Okay, so now we can make our card. So we're going to go back to our original card base. I've already scored it in the centre, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure those 2 scores are nice and sharp. And we've got a front and a back. So I'm going to work from the front of the card. So the first thing that I'm going to add is piece A, and this is piece A and B. This is going to go through the centre slot on the front of the card. So I've folded the tabs up and I'm just slotting it in all the way through to the back. So at the back it's going to look like that. Lift that section up. And then when I open the card, I'll show you it from the side. That's how it's going to look. So the next piece I'm going to add is this section here. And looking down, it's going to go in the tab in the middle. So I'm folding the 2 tabs together, and I'm just going to slot that into the tab. There we go. And I'll take it from the underneath like that. And then I'm going to just release the tabs so that it is in the middle. There we go. Then the next section I'm going to add is the larger section, and I'm going to add this to the open cut at the back on the front section. So that just slots through and the tabs sit underneath. And then the last section is going to go in the front tab, and that will just sit at the front. Now I'm going to turn it so you can see it like that. Whoops. That's going to slip out, and it's all sat in place, and it does stand up perfectly. From my angle it looks perfect. Next we're going to start adding our decoupage. Now for this I'm just going to lay it flat, because we're going to add our decoupage and build up the images. On the back of all the decoupage I've added the actual alphabet letter that it is and which sheet it goes onto. I found that helpful, and I'm sure after you've made it a couple of times you'll know where all the pieces go and you'll be able to build it all up. So I'm building it all now from the decoupage that I've cut out extra. All those delicious cakes and the gorgeous strawberries and the donuts, all my favourites. And that is actually our card finished. Now I'm going to tilt it to show you it. But how yummy is that? It folds flat and it's just such a gorgeous card, something a little bit different. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous kit from Sandie. Now Sandie has lots more designs available on Craftsuprint, and I'm sure if you want to check them out, if you look for Sandie Burchell on www.craftsuprint.com, I want to remind you of the cup number. It's cup 122201_425. And I would just like to say thank you so much for watching. I shall see you next time.